Welcome back to another video, everyone. I'm Amy. In this video, I'll be talking about emotional awareness. Welcome to another video, everyone. Nice to see you. So let's talk about emotions in more detail in this video. So as the title of this video suggests, this is about mastering your emotions. And those of you that have seen this title and come to this video are probably looking for an answer to the question, how do I control my emotions? Now, interestingly enough, what we're saying when we say this is basically, how do I not have emotions? And most of the time, we're actually meaning negative emotions. So I'm not going to teach you how to control emotions in the sense that you are not going to have them, that they're going to disappear from you. Because in my belief, emotions aren't bad at all. Negative emotions aren't bad. Positive emotions aren't good. So with that in mind, I'm not going to teach you to destroy them, make them not come at all. But I can help you to manage them when they come up from my experience. So where did this perspective that emotions are bad, particularly negative emotions, or having a lot of emotions, good or bad, or being an emotional person, when people say that, they say that to me a lot. Because I was the kid in school who at the slightest chance that I'm going to get into trouble would just burst out crying, and the more I would try and stop this from happening, and then I could feel it coming, the tears are coming, and then I'll cry. So I am an air quote emotional person, and whenever this has been said to me, it's said with the energy of this is a bad thing, this is a weakness, it is weak to express a lot of emotions. So where has this even come from? Because emotions are a part of life. They're truly a part of life. Emotions are energy. Energy is neither good nor bad. Energy is everything. Emotions are energy in motion, moving energy. Perhaps we think that having a lot of emotions, because from our experience, when we have a lot of emotions and we're overwhelmed with emotions, then we're not able to function as well. We're not able to be logical, physical beings as well, because we're overwhelmed with these emotions. So they've got a bad rep. And the belief, the society norm to believe that it is strong to be able to control, suppress, hold on to, choose whether or not you let go of your emotions, have them under this sense of management, almost like you've got your reins gripping these emotions and you can completely control them 100% of the time. That is seen as the strong persona, and the one that is crying uncontrollably is the weak persona. The one who loses their temper and can't hold their anger in is the weak persona. The one that wants to run and hide with shame is the weak persona. But from my experience, that's not true at all. Recently, I've come to own my own strength and not be told anymore that I'm weak for having emotions. I've seen incredibly strong people just cry on the spot. And actually, we're starting to realize now that they're the strong ones, that it takes guts to allow yourself to be vulnerable, that it's an act of love to allow yourself to be vulnerable around people. And particularly recently, with everything that's going on, there's a need more than ever for positivity in the world. And we're hearing a lot of. In fact, my year started out with a talk at the school that I was teaching at about how to be positive all the time. And that has its place, right? Because we need to counteract a lot of that negativity with positivity. But the catch here is, and particularly when we're talking about law of attraction, is that people are interpreting it that you must be positive all the time and you must not feel your negative emotions. And that's not the truth at all. Because you're alive. And emotions are an essential part of life. Emotions are simply alerting us, giving us information on our energetic state. So if we look at positive emotions, let's look at love. When we feel love, it's because I want to feel connected with everyone or with a particular person. I want to feel a deep soul connection with them. And the information is presenting to me that I do have a deep soul connection with them. So I feel love, this positive emotion. When I feel joy, this is because I want to enjoy what I'm doing right now. And I do enjoy what I'm doing right now. So it's all in alignment. So let's look at the other side of it. Negative emotions, painful emotions. Anger. What's that saying to us? Well, when we feel anger, it's because I want to be treated well, and I think I deserve to be treated well, but the information is presenting to me that I am not being treated well. Fear or anxiety. I want to be safe, but the information is presenting to me that I'm possibly not safe. We were just talking about this with respect to coronavirus. And then shame. Shame is saying, I want to exist, but the information is presenting to me that I shouldn't exist right now. So now that we have an awareness of what these emotions are, let's look at the fact that we mostly want to accept and enjoy the positive emotions. And why do we want to run from the negative emotions so much? Why do they hurt? They're painful. They're physically painful. Just like the positive emotions are physically enjoyable. Love feels great. We even connect this with our actual heart and the symbol. I feel love in my heart. It feels amazing. This warm energy. Heartbreak, loneliness. It's physically painful. We feel a stab in our heart, a physical sensation of pain. And actually, the same exact part of the brain that is responsible for physical pain, for registering and processing physical pain, is also responsible for processing and sending the signal of emotional pain. The anterior insula, it's a very primitive part of the brain. It's existed for a good amount of time, helping us survive. So we're going to argue with that. We're going to say, no, you don't get to tell me this information. You get to tell me whether or not I'm physically safe. You can do that job, right? Because it's telling us when we feel physical pain that there's a lack of harmony in our physical body. And what it's trying to do when we're feeling emotional pain is tell us there's a lack of harmony in our energetic body. Who we are fundamentally and who we want to be is not in alignment with the information or how we're acting or how other people are acting towards us. This is all it's trying to do, and we're saying, no, I don't want to feel that. We do this a lot in life. We try to cherry pick our human experience. I don't want the good, the bad emotions. You don't have to want the good emotions too. That could be you. I want to experience the terrible emotions. I want to feel that way. I want to feel horrific. I don't want to feel good. I don't deserve it. Or the other way around. I want to feel all the wonderful things, all the wonderful emotions of the times that I'm in alignment, but I don't want to ever know if I'm not in alignment. Why would we want to know that? Because emotions are fundamentally there to drive us to act. You can't tell a baby, don't feel emotion, the second it comes out. How else is it supposed to get people to act, to keep it safe, to give it what it needs? So why are we telling our brain, you don't get to make me feel these painful emotions? We're cherry picking our human experience. Let's look at it another way. When we split, these emotions are good, these emotions are bad. Are we also going to split and say, we have to just take the male in life and no female? We have to just take the light with no dark? Are we going to do that? I don't know about you, but I want to experience the fullness of life, the full spectrum of life itself, of emotions. I want to choose to feel my emotions. Truly be alive. That's my choice. So this first step in mastering our emotions is to actually let yourself feel them. Feel them. The first step before anything else, before we decide what we're going to do with them. Allow yourself to feel them without the resistance. Because emotions are supposed to just be passing through us. They're constantly fluctuating, just like life itself. Sometimes there's no emotions, sometimes there's intense emotions, sometimes there's tiny bits of emotion. It's constantly fluctuating like life. But we try and hold on to everything staying the same. And the good emotions, when they come along, we cling to them like hell. I want you to stay forever. Please don't leave. And the bad emotions, we're like, no. I don't want you here. Get away. You're bad. I don't want to feel you. Now, this is the interesting thing when we relate the science of this, because we're talking about energy here. I'm a scientist. So emotions are this energy. We feel them. There's something going on. There's something moving. It's energy. Don't overthink it. Now, the interesting thing is when we resist emotions, actually, most of the time, our resistance to the negative emotions is the most painful aspect of them. Our resistance to our negative emotions is what's making us suffer the most. Our clinging endlessly to our positive emotions is also what's making us suffer the most. So let's look at that logically, right? Because the perspective is that you can't be logical and have emotions. Well, I argue with that. Let's look at emotions logically. When in science you push on something, it pushes back any energetic body of matter. You push on it and it pushes back. Newton's third law, a very fundamental law about how the world works, which has stuck with us for a very long time. I push on the wall, and the reason I don't go through the wall is because it's pushing back. The same happens with your negative emotions. You push on it, you say, go away, I don't want you, I don't want to feel you, and it pushes back, and it comes stronger. And that's why it hurts so much, because we naturally resist that feeling. If you look at animals when they're in physical pain, they usually, if I watch my cat, she just came in here to remind me, is when she's in pain, she just kind of lies down and just goes very peaceful and just relaxes into it, and her breathing is very deep. They don't resist it like we do. They don't resist pain. They don't take it personally, like, why am I in pain? How dare the world make me in pain right now? So we resist. Let's say you've got anxiety in your chest, that if we really take a moment when we feel that, what does it feel like to you? For me personally, it feels like this kind of nervous, tingly feeling that's spreading across my chest, and it's kind of cold and sharp, and I don't like it. So I resist it, and I tense up, tense all my muscles in my chest, and I go, I don't want to feel this. And it feels worse, because now I've created more tension in my body. Actual physical problems can result from that. And the same thing happens with the positive emotions that we cling to for dear life, out of fear of losing them, because they feel so good, and you've gone before and I don't want you to go again. I don't want to feel lonely again. I want to feel loved. I don't want to feel unsafe again. I want to feel safe. We cling to them. We pull them in. And the opposite reaction to that is to get away. So we're actually doing the opposite of what we want. We're trying to pull our emotions in and cling on to them, and they're trying to get the hell away from us. It's simply science. So it's not the emotions themselves that are either good or bad, that either create joy or suffering. It's our reaction to them that most of the time creates suffering. So this first step in emotional mastery, and I'm only saying this to give it a label, what I really want to call it is the emotional experience, an authentic emotional experience in your life, is actually to allow yourself to feel them. And I know that this can be very, very tough, but I'm right there with you. I know how tough this can be. I've had emotions that are so painful that it feels impossible to me that I couldn't be dying. So how do we allow ourselves to start feeling them? Maybe a lot of you've pushed them down, you've resisted them so much that they've gone way, way down, suppressed into your subconscious. That resistance that we're talking about, you've shoved them down in your life during the times where you wouldn't allow yourself to feel them, or you couldn't allow yourself to feel them because it wasn't safe as a child. And then what happens is that they click into your subconscious mind and they don't go away. We think when we suppress emotions, when we control emotions, destroy emotions, is that they go away. Well, no, they don't. Well, then they start influencing your behavior subconsciously without control. You now have no control over your behavior because it's subconscious, you're not aware of it. Energy, just to break it to you from a science perspective again, let's keep going with this science. I hate to break it to you, but you cannot destroy energy. Another fundamental law of physics, energy cannot be created nor destroyed, only transferred or dissipated. So which one are we going to choose? Well, the first step, we have to become aware of them. We have to allow ourselves to feel them and accept them without the resistance so that they become in our conscious mind. We're consciously now experiencing these emotions, and when we're conscious of them, we have a choice. So you can take a moment even right now and just close your eyes. So I do this a lot. Close my eyes, check in. How am I feeling? Ask yourself, how am I feeling? How does it feel to be me right now? Notice, scan your body. These emotions are oftentimes physical manifestations, you'll feel them actually in your body. Take a scan. What's going on? How is the energy moving? Notice. Maybe there's that one emotion that you don't even have to look for. It's just always there. So alive. Whatever you see, whatever comes up, either now or another time. Try to allow yourself just to open, like literally open your chest and allow it and breathe. Breathe into it. Start to feel the space around it. So we're not just overwhelmed by it, gripped in it. Start to follow it. Maybe it's moving around the body. How is it moving? Just observing, not judging. This is just energy. You might even notice. If you consciously allow yourself to relax into the emotion, the pressure relieves, that actually it just becomes like you're watching something moving around inside of you. Maybe it's colored, maybe it's blue, maybe it's black. Maybe it's like a ball of dense energy, or maybe it's like a squiggly line swirling around. How does it feel? Just observe. Take the label off it even. Look at this emotion. You've been labeling it your whole life as anxiety, pain, depression, love maybe. Even the good ones. We're not going to leave those out. Happiness. How does it feel to be happy? How does it feel to be sad? How do you know that your experience of sadness is the same as mine? Where's the reference point? How could we possibly know? You've just labeled that sadness. You just labeled that shame, happiness, love. Take the label away, throw it away, and actually experience it. How does it feel? How does it move? And then breathe into it. Allow the space around it. If it's too much, if it's too intense, you can, in your mind's eye, just take a step back or 10 steps back or stand a mile back and just look at it. Observe it. This is the first step. Actually allowing yourself to feel emotions without resistance. And then we're consciously experiencing them. And then we get to make a choice. Am I going to allow it to dissipate move through, with no attachment, good or bad? Or can I channel it? Emotions are so powerful. Remember, the whole purpose of them being here is to motivate you to act. I don't like the sound of my baby crying. I've got to feed it. I don't like the feeling that they're treating me like crap, that I'm worthless. So I'm going to protect myself, going to make sure this doesn't happen again. We've got the choice. We can allow it to pass, or we can allow it to motivate us. The first step comes with this awareness. So I'm just going to invite you to breathe in deeply right now. And release. Again, breathe in deep. And release. One more time, inhale. And exhale. I know that was a lot of information. So hopefully you found it beneficial. Remember to like and subscribe to my channel. I'll be making regular videos like this to help you to unlock your true potential and receive the life that you truly deserve. Sending you lots of love. Have a wonderful rest of the day.